Hello everyone, I'm a Metaslave and welcome to Chapter 10 of my Conquest Max Round Efficiency. Chapter 10 is kind of like a famous chapter in Conquest as, like, the defend map that's, like, leaves you gritting your teeth, hoping that you don't just die to all the enemies rushing towards the thing you need to defend. But, realistic, but there's a lot of ways to break this map, as I'm about to demonstrate, but obviously a lot of them are quite specific to having all these stupid items that you can feed to Corrin. Because this is like a true defend map, rather than some rather than a map where I just need to beat it as fast as possible, as in I am stuck here for 11 turns, much to my chagrin. I do use this opportunity to grind a few units, or grind combat for either experience or weapon experience, because there's a couple important benchmarks I'd like to meet for a couple of maps. First is concerns Kazunari here, who I will be referring to as Swap Guy. Here I'm just verifying silence stats. Let me skip this. And he needs to get Swap for, the broken skill that it is, and I don't really have much time to train him after this, since his combat kind of blows, as you can see by me using all these tonics on him. And that means this map is perfect for me to get him to 10 for swap. Everyone else, Corrin wants to see tomes, as well as an extra map of Odin grinding, which I get to do here. It's nice to get Nyx to level 10 as well, just in case you want to promote her for whatever reason later. But there's not really, I think actually the biggest improvement that comes out of promoting Nyx would be in Chapter 13, which is before you get, more Master Seals. So it would be more of a benefit if you were to allow infinite seals, essentially. But that's neither here nor there. Regardless, Nyx is just kind of holds off the left corner. So Swap Guy visits the first village and gets a Master Seal, which, speaking of Master Seals, and Master Seals are a little tight before Chapter 13, because there's a couple units, Corrin and Silas have already used the only ones I have, but this is the last one before Chapter 13. It ends up going to Niles, who will hit level 10 pretty trivially here. In addition to, it's time to get, I built the prison last map to get the generic Spear Fighter, but now it's also time to get a generic Peg, since it's going to be a while, since it's going to be Chapter 14, when I get another one, but I need one for Chapter 12. Which is perfect, because Niles is going to be the one that's usually killing these generic Pegs anyway. Corrin, since he got the Speedwing from last chapter, Speedwing's last chapter, which I was going to kind of, use on him anyway, because speed benchmarks are not so generous that he can go without using them. But he managed to double that ninja. But what's also kind of nice is for him to not one-shot the Oni Savages, so that he doesn't, or does rather, build Guard Gauge here. And that is just, overall helpful. Silas, comes to the right and uses the Lance because he's in range of Spear Fighters. But unfortunately, he'll just have to take the hit from that archer. Now that these enemies are moving up, it's kind of important that Niles doesn't just sit around there looking pretty. Elise, I wanted, because these Oni Savages come up, I had her visit the 1,000 Gold Village, and now it's time for Nyx to just annihilate those Oni Savages. Her actually is kind of sus there, but using Disrobing Gale to just get rid of that guy, as in to manage to double them even at base, is nice. I should note that because Nyx's skill and luck are so bad... Oh, yeah, hi, bro. You're about to die. That because her skill and luck are so bad, that even with Heartseeker, she doesn't have 100 hit on Oni Savages with Disrobing Gale, because they have less than 20 avoid, and she has less than 100 hit. It's pretty sad. But, yeah, Corrin just essentially nips these bottom right enemies in the bud and grinds, all while grinding Tome Rank and Odin support. What's annoying is that, yeah, and even that Pegasus Knight manages to, go for Corrin rather than moving up, because not only can they actually damage him because he's been debuffed, it's also kind of like vaguely on the path to the seize point. I don't really know like fully what motivates Pegasus Knights to do what. All right, so here's Camilla squad. Camilla is, as we all know, absolutely busted because she basically has 2010 or 21 stats, but has the EXP gain of a 10-1 unit. She also like is, you know, in the best class in the game, or best class line in the game. Like Malian Knight's not that suited for her because her magic's not very good, but you know, if you're gonna pick a class to be in this game, Wyvern Lord's definitely the one. I had like slightly questionable hit there with Niles on that peg, but I could have like I think I could have used Azura to dance for him, worst case scenario, or use like attack stance, because attack stance, even if you don't get the extra attack when you're capturing, you still get the +10 hit from attack stance, which is really helpful. I decided to like, I'm in range of another peg here, but unfortunately it's an Iron Naginata one. Oh yeah, I attacked the Iron Naginata one, and then I end up I was thinking that the Steel Naginata one would go for me, but she doesn't because that's out of the way of the path. So Beruka, I guess, yeah, let's talk about Camilla's little friends. Beruka is also a Wyvern Rider, but her combat obviously is not nearly as good as Camilla's. So it's good for her to hit level 10 as well, because that's just an extra 8-move flyer later on. And Wyverns are still preferable in some situations over the generic pegs, since they're a strength and defense pair up rather than a speed and res pair up. So Beruka, I think Beruka actually gets deployed every map after this. So yeah, she just hangs out even if she doesn't see much combat. Selena, on the other hand, is in a much worse like base class line, since she is a mercenary rather than a Wyvern Rider. But she also, unlike Beruka, is base level 9 and needs to get fed a level, which she will in this map. Fed a level to promote. Selena can just promote instantly. Some people like her as like a Bow Knight pair up for Camilla that gives +4 speed at C support, and, you know, naturally +1 move from Bow Knight. This is a job that's either like often relegates either Selena or Niles, and both do it pretty well. But I don't really have the seals to do that yet, so I'll hold off. But even as a mercenary, she does give +3 speed at no support, and they do have a fast support that I can like have immediately if I ever need +4 speed on Camilla for whatever reason. But yeah, like I said, Selena like in combat is not very useful for this kind of playthrough because her stat's not quite good enough to be doing anything super notable, unlike her liege. But what she does have, which is very important later on, once again heart seals are freed up, is she has Pegasus Knight as her secondary class line, which means she can go Falcon Knight and become a flying rescue stat fuser. I mean, I don't think it's really that hard to figure out why that's good, because no other unit besides Azura, who, you know, would like to stay in Dancer, can do that innately, besides Corrin, but like Corrin has better things to be doing. So Selena also comes in handy later on in the run. I had Silas attack these archers with the javelin, which was like kind of lazy of me, since if I'm not careful, he could just die. But like I said, I wasn't really putting that much effort into this map, and I could have just played that in particular a little more conservatively, since, yeah. The idea was to have Silas be like one-shotting archers with javelin for him to handle that part, bottom right side, which he has like the Arthur pair up and all that strength stacking, including the battle seal. Now that Corrin took care of that peg last turn, he can visit that village. But first, I gotta like take care of all these enemies that have swarmed here. I didn't really know what I was doing by like equipping the hand axe there with Beruka. I was just kind of like, maybe I'll just counter a ninja or something. But I also idiotically put Elise right next to her, and so the ninja's obviously just gonna prefer to go to Elise. Luckily, like these ninjas, like they're not that strong yet, so I can leave like Azura or Elise or whatever in range, and it's fine. Here I'm like thinking, okay, like again, Beruka one shot that Pegasus Knight anyway, but what I end up doing is lunging that ninja with Camilla, and then making use of Beruka's personal, which gives her like extra damage when an enemy can't counter her. and then end Rose's Thorns at the same time to kill that peg. Niles also wants that ninja, or to kill that ninja, so I do that with just Rose's Thorns and attack stance there. And what I also want to do is like find a way to deal with those pegs, and I think what I'm about to do... Nope, I was just... Okay, actually turns out I did exactly the opposite of what I should have been doing. I could have like spared Elise to just visit that village for the dual club, but I didn't. I get it later though, so it's fine. Corrin, the bottom right is just Dracoshield, which is nice. I mean, it's something that would be allegedly going to Corrin, even though, like, I don't really have the reasons to use it. I mean, I feel like I'm too defense blessed to like justify using it with what I'm trying to demonstrate. But yeah. So like, I was thinking, okay, maybe it's important to deal with the Oni Savages down here, but like also those pegs are kind of annoying. So what should I do? What should I do? As you can see, I was pretty, like I said, pretty sloppy with recording this. Here, yeah, I actually make use of attack stance, and capture a generic peg. And now Niles hits level 10, which is like the bare minimum what he needs to be, but it could easily be hitting level 11 if I put my mind to it here. I didn't end up doing that, but like he was like literally 1 kill off, so that's just me being stupid. I mean, here I'm like with Beruka and Swap Guy. I'm like trying to figure out like, okay, like how can I like distribute the experience between the two, since like Swap Guy's harder to feed because he doesn't like, it's hard to feed them kills when Swap Guy's in the lead, so it's better to just find ways to do it. Like, find any time convenient to be feeding Swap Guy, since he is also a little more important. Like, Beruka doesn't need to hit level 10 by the end of this map. It's just nice if she does, since I don't have to worry about it anymore. And as you can see, because of all that damage stacking, strength stacking and stuff, I could kill the peg even with Brass Naginata, which just, you know, lets me get away with, which lets you not have to worry about accuracy. Because, you know, strength has this funny stat, or like raw attack power has the funny property of translating into actual accuracy in this game. Or just in Fire Emblem in general, because you can use more accurate weapons to make up for your overkill and strength. I'm trying to figure out here how to like stay out of range of everything, but I just kind of give up and put Swap Guy in the lead so that Niles doesn't get gangbanged. Or rather, he's not. Yeah, Niles is in the range of the... Niles is only in range of the peg, but like I wanted to aggro the Spear Fighters with Swap Guy and also block the peg from hitting anyone but Azura. Again, Azura's like, we're still at the stage where enemies are still like weak enough that they don't just instantly kill Azura yet, so it's fine for me to be doing something like that. Silas just kind of hangs out and yeah, uses a vulnerary again, but like he doesn't really do much the rest of the map. You guys do have Steel Defense, which is kind of annoying, and like I didn't speed stack enough on Swap Guy to get the to like double other Spear Fighters. Those Oni, I needed Nyx to run away from those Oni Savages because they would have just destroyed her if she was still down there, like if she was like right next to the wall like that. So yeah, she runs away, and someone else is gonna have to deal with those Oni Savages since she can't do that by herself. Takumi just activated the Dragon Vein, so no longer enemies impede it, like, you know, walking down these like pretty narrow choke points. Instead, it's like they can just go wherever they want. But that's just fine. I mean, that just means more places for me to attack them from. And yeah. I wanted, like, I could have had Corrin one space back to, like, aggro a throwing club guy and kill him, but being in range of Hinata is, like, a little more, I don't know, it's kind of more vibe overall, I guess, because that throwing club guy is eventually going to die. Corrin is kind of just doing, yeah, this little, like, sweeping loop to eventually deal with those Oni Savages next turn. You know, he does have 11 move right now. Yeah, here I just kind of, like, hesitate, like, okay, like, what... I just get another kill with Swap Guy since, again, him hitting level 10 is critical. And I just oh yeah, I don't capture that one. I want to say I capture another generic peg here, which didn't, like, I didn't really need one, but I was kind of like, yeah, why not? I have the space for it. And now I switch Selena, like, Selena and Beruka because I wanted Swap Guy to be able to double an enemy Spirit Fighter. And now I can use, like, Camilla to, like, kite Beruka around somewhere for her to get a kill now. Because Niles can counterattack that, I just put Felicia in front of him for her to deal with that peg. She doesn't kill it with on enemy face, even with Niles' hilarious bronze bow might, but it's fine. It's not really a big deal. I think that might be the one I captured. But yeah, so now, like, Eventually I'm gonna have to worry about that top right part with, you know, more Oni Savages, more Pegasus Knights going there. But right now the priority is these Oni Savages that are quite close to reaching the square. But hilariously enough, because of like those like barrels or crates or whatever there, the Oni Savage is actually blocked by Corrin now, so they're not reaching the seize point anytime soon. And if I want to, there Nyx can attack one of them safely and kill him probably with Disturbing Gale, assuming she doesn't miss. So yeah, here I'm like, okay, can I get a kill with Beruka? Like, how do I get a kill with Beruka? But kind of to no avail. Like Malignite, it's kind of weird. Like, or Malignite doesn't give strength on pair up, so and Beruka doesn't have the best base strength, so it's not like I can really expect to one shot things randomly. And unlike Spear Fighter, which does give strength. But I think I just want to say, yeah, I weaken with Felicia and then finish with Swap Guy. It was a perfect kill, which is cool. And yeah, he gets swapped now, and now he doesn't have to see combat ever again. And yeah, I do capture. Yeah, no, I don't. I swear, I know it for a fact I captured another one. I just lost count and lost track. But doesn't matter, because that second peg doesn't even matter. But however, the first generic peg, on the other hand, you know, that I should point out is actually quite useful, because there's a couple maps like Chapter 12 where having extra fire is actually really, really good. So, yet another case of generics being more important than a named unit. And that's not the last of that you'll be seeing in this run. Again, I'm just kind of flailing about, being like, okay, let me, I'll be right back. Yeah, and so I decided to like put Beruka in range of the Oni Savages and to let her deal with that. But what ends up happening is that they don't actually go for her. They just prefer to. Oh yeah, I miss. I try. Yeah, I launch that guy and like think, okay, I'll like soften them up with Camilla to use for Beruka to finish. But they just move towards the top right because they don't care about Camilla since she's too bulky right now. Because of +3 defense from Beruka. That is like a pretty frequent concern you have to have with Camilla, at least early on. Is they're like, oh, if I do the X, she'll just be too bulky, and they won't go for her. Which is kind of like why I keep her. That's like one of the main reasons it's a good idea to keep her in Malignite until you get like the extra heart seals from Chapter 13. But the other is that like at this stage in the game, like Camilla's like actually like close to killing with magic, to killing enemies with magic, whereas after Chapter 13 or so, she just never will be again. But yeah, I put Niles in range of that Oni kind of by accident. I didn't really realize, because it happened from lunge. But it lets me just. I mean, I guess it's tome rank for what it's really worth, because Corrin can reach all the way. And yeah, here I'm counting squares to see like if I dance Corrin, can I deal with top right? As you can see, I was not very. I really wanted to spend as little time as I could on this map, because defend maps are pain in the ass to record. Like, Cheeky didn't record whatever he was doing for Chapter 10. He's kind of like has like a personal he had like a personal thing of like, yeah, I don't record defense maps, and like it's kind of like on one end it's kind of like, well, like why, like that's still like part of the game, and it's kind of like important to have like to be demonstrating like what you're doing and like what you're preparing for later during those maps. But at the same time, after this shit, I definitely sympathize with it, because God, it's not fun. It's not fun recording defend maps. But yeah, so I dance Corrin now, and he's gonna get the last bit needed to get to C by just throwing himself in range of all these Pegasus Knight and Oni Savage. And like I said, it's been so long, man. I already am forgetting, but like it's best for Corrin to not be one-shotting enemies, but still two-shotting the Pegasus Knights, even paired up Pegasus Knights, just because, like, guard gauge, nice to have. But yeah, here, like, oh boy, these Oni Savages are getting close to the like, seize point. So what I do is, like, but I want to feed another kill. I'm like, here I'm trying to like figure out like, okay, can I get another kill on Beruka by doing this? And the answer is no. So I just kill this ninja with Camilla and deal with that Oni with Nyx. With, again, who's just barely two-shotting. Again, like, yeah, like, oh, that guy has a little less avoid because he has a steel club instead of iron, but, like, missing there is, like, really, really bad. I need Niles to be, like, on standby in case any of the Pegasus Knights get any funny ideas with when it comes to, like, seizing. And I did have the nice benefit last turn of pulling those ninjas towards the top of the boat with Swap Guy. That was kind of accidental, but it happened. And it means I don't have to like, they don't move up towards me. So little cases like that can be helpful. Yeah, so only savages get destroyed. That guy, gets finished off. And I can finally make use of Heartseeker there, since I'm not worried about instantly dying on enemy phase when I take the counterattack. And you'll see that Nyx does not have 100 hit. These Pegasus Knights, again, dangerous close to Seize Point, so I can just use a combination of Silas and Corrin. Yeah, Silas luckily does have Hunter with the Bronze Lance. And yeah, all that strength stacking means I can one-shot even the Pegs with a Bronze Lance. I need to stay out of range of those archers for this phase, and that's, like, not that hard to do. Since I just need to kill those Pegs, or at least one of them. Yeah, like I said, considering, like, oh, like, maybe kill the Oni, but then I was like, no, let me just use Nyx. Whose hit rate is so pathetic. Or no, yeah, I do feed it to Beruka here. Nope, I don't. Okay, this is kind of funny. It's been a while. It's been a while since I recorded this, but yeah. And the concern about that Oni Savage is that, like, making sure that if I attack a Peg with Silas, that the Oni can still, like, I can still force the Oni to go for Corrin rather than Silas, who won't be able to counter and won't kill anyway. And yeah, like, I get Nyx's level 10 kill, and, like, she also manages to dodge the hit from the rando from the Oni, but didn't matter anyway. Beruka is pretty close to level 10, so she starts. So I use hand axe. I use iron axe to, like, start, and then I'll use hand axe to. Or no, I just use iron axe twice. So just get rid of that ninja, who just is never gonna kill her between +2 defense from Camilla and just her innately good defense and weapon triangle jazz. Because, like, ninjas and, like, shurikens are the weapon type that, like, get hurt really, really badly by being at weapon triangle disadvantage, because, like, literally every stage of weapon rank bonuses, so C, B, and A, they all give plus might, just like swords. So, like, being at weapon triangle just cancels. It's essentially, yeah, like, for unpromoted ninjas, -2, and for master ninjas that show up with S shurikens, it's -4. It's a little ridiculous sometimes. It's really... I put Azura on standby just in case I need Elise, or I need Niles to take care of a Peg. That's kind of just, yeah, just do fucking nothing worth mentioning. But yeah, like that. Those ninjas that were stuck down here, as I allude to no avail, go for Beruka. And yeah, Odin gets his first level up here, which is kind of funny, because he's never gonna, and he learns speed +2 as a result. But that obviously doesn't mean anything. What's worth mentioning, I guess, he has that, like, after this map, yeah, like, Corrin wants to spend some time in Darkflyer to pick up speed +2. I didn't do it for this map, though, because, like, Darkflyer bulk is way worse than Malignite bulk, so I wouldn't have gotten, like, I wouldn't have been able to just kind of, like, laugh everything off without healing, like I have here. Here I'm, like, deliberating, like, okay, like, can Corrin just destroy all those enemies without dying? And the truth is, I like fucked up. What I end up like killing a paired archer instead of a lone archer, which like means I'm facing two archers during enemy phase instead of just one. And like I took the hit, I was eating the hit from one, but um losing, but like not the next. I also I make use of swap there just to avoid needing to pair up for again just to be fancy, but and to heal Corrin. But I just topped Corrin's axe rank off to hit D because I do eventually like I wanted Corrin to be at D axes before I later use an arm scroll for that axe rank. And Beruka just hit level 10 as well and learned lunge, which is, you know, very good skill. And now it's time for me to blunder and kill the wrong one. But essentially, if I had left the right one alive, if I had killed the lone one instead of the paired one, I would easily survive that enemy phase. And instead, one of them just misses, and I just go, oh, never punished. But yeah, that's it's chapter 10. I mean, yeah, and for what it's worth, I shield gauged the ninja, which probably helped out. That was completely unplanned, just kind of happened. Then here I hit C, which is good because I want to be able to use Calamity Gate for next map. I miss, I dodge, and because I hit C, but the worst part is if I didn't hit C when I hit C, I would have just not killed that guy, but I did. So oh well, and gotten a second shield gauge, but I did. Sucks to suck. Goodbye.